Thanks very much for joining me on this Faces Friday. I'm Lynn Sherritt, and we're going to continue the conversation about literacy. Illiteracy is indecent. By thinking about anything that's worthwhile is costly. In 2015, my colleague and I wrote about what we needed to do to ensure that we shape education for our students' prosperity and our educators' professional success in the future. We wrote Good to Great to Innovate, recalculating the route to career readiness, kindergarten to year 12 and beyond. My colleague, Gail Harold, and I really thought that this book was ahead of its time. We addressed the importance of developing students who were critical thinkers, problem solvers, innovators, and well-prepared literate graduates for the 21st century. How are we going to do that? What did we recommend? We felt that learners needed early and ongoing feedback to understand their strengths. And number two, we recommended that we offer a rigorous curriculum where assessment informs instruction and, of course, differentiates instruction. Classrooms needed to be places where discovery and exploration and, of course, knowledge building was really evident. And then we recommended giving learners the opportunity for collaborative inquiry and also, really importantly, experiential learning, kindergarten to year 12 and beyond. Our aim in writing Good to Great to Innovate was to support educators to ensure that all students had the requisite skills to meet future global demands. Students needed the requisite skills. Well, how did that book work? Not very well. We were quite disappointed. We think we were ahead of our times, but to say the least, it wasn't a bestseller. So today, we find ourselves in the very same predicament. There's still that global urgency because 75 million youths are unemployed or underemployed across the globe, and that was in 2013. Now, the realities of the global economy, the workplaces, and careers have drastically changed. And we weren't even considering the pandemic. Teachers across the globe have always believed in the importance and the moral imperative of literacy learning. Now this needs to be embraced, not only by teachers, but also leaders at every level, in schools, in networks, across systems. It needs to be embraced by government leaders, policymakers, and union leaders. The equity and excellence question for us still remains. What is the best practice to ensure all students are literate graduates? The higher the potential reward, the greater the cost. Whether it's in personal relationships or in our professional teaching and learning. Whether it is in one school or in many schools, we need to consider how badly we want all of our graduates to be literate and what is the cost we're willing to pay. Well, here are some things that I think need to be considered in the cost of every student becoming a critically literate graduate. Number one, time. We need to provide time so that teachers and leaders learn together during the school day how to teach every face. The second one, professional learning. We need to focus on all of our professional learning to be about those fundamental literacy skills in every subject area across every program across the globe. And then knowledgeable others. We need to have teachers who have a proven track record walk beside us and ensure that we know what is best in teaching every phase. And finally, we need to think about partnerships. Partnerships not only with our parents, which is critical, but also our communities, our government sector, our universities, our researchers, to ensure that our partnerships are mutually beneficial and we're all exploring how to teach all students to become critically literate graduates. So we're advocating for a structured, collaboratively planned approach to the next steps in education to ensure that all of our students can read the lines, read between the lines, and read beyond the lines. As I've said before, illiteracy is indecent. Illiteracy is unacceptable. We all must do something together. How long will we wait? And at what cost? We have an opportunity to advocate for what we need in future educational settings. How will you advocate? I advocate on Twitter and on Instagram on Faces Friday. Let's get together and ensure that all of our students graduate critically literate. See you next week.